The only evidence that could save me from prison was held by the person I'd spent years trying to destroy. 3 years ago, I discovered my business partner was embezzling from our company, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I had proof, spreadsheets, bank transfers, everything. I went to the authorities, testified against him, watched him lose his career, his reputation, his family. He swore he'd make me pay. Last month, I got arrested for fraud. Someone had been siphoning money from client accounts using my credentials, my signatures, my access codes. Every transaction pointed to me. My lawyer said without the original server logs from our old company, I had no defense. But those servers were destroyed 3 years ago during the investigation, except they weren't. My former partner had kept backup drives. I found out through a mutual contact who felt guilty enough to tell me. He had the only copies of the logs that would prove the fraud started before I even had access to those accounts. I showed up at his apartment at 7 a.m. He opened the door in his bathrobe, coffee in hand. When he saw me, he smiled. Took you long enough. I asked him for the drives. He laughed. You destroyed my entire life. You stood in court and called me a thief in front of everyone I'd ever known. My wife left. My kids won't speak to me. And now you want me to save you? I told him I'd pay whatever he wanted. I don't want your money. He leaned against the doorframe. I want you to know exactly what you put me through. I want you to feel what I felt. I said I was sorry, that I'd do anything. Anything? He went inside and came back with a laptop. First, you're going to watch something. He pulled up a video file, security footage from our old office, time-stamped 2 weeks before I found the first discrepancy. The video showed our mentor, Richard, the man who'd brought us both into the business, sitting at my partner's desk at 3 a.m. He was logged into the accounting system using my partner's credentials. I watched him transfer money, forge signatures, create fake invoices. My hands started shaking. Keep watching, my partner said quietly. The next video was dated 6 months later. Richard, sitting in a coffee shop across from a detective, handing over a folder, the same folder I'd later present as evidence. Richard had framed him. I looked up at my partner and he was staring at me with this hollow expression. I tried to tell you. You wouldn't listen. You trusted Richard over me because he mentored you, because he brought you in, because he was like a father to you. I felt sick. Richard died 8 months ago, he continued. Heart attack in his sleep, never faced a single consequence. But before he died, he sent me a letter, confessed everything, said he needed someone to take the fall when the IRS started circling, and I was convenient. Young, ambitious, trusted the numbers too much. He handed me the letter, Richard's handwriting, every detail of how he'd set it up. He also told me he was grooming you to be next, that when the time came, he'd already laid the groundwork to make you look guilty too. Turns out he did his job well. My voice cracked. So you're not going to help me. I didn't say that. He pulled out a hard drive from his pocket. These logs prove Richard did it. They prove I was innocent, and they prove you're being framed the exact same way I was. I reached for it. He pulled it back. But first, you're going to do something for me. You're going to write a letter to my ex-wife, to my kids, to every client who cut ties with me. You're going to admit you were wrong, that you destroyed an innocent man because you were too arrogant to question your precious mentor. My trial was in 4 days. I said I couldn't do that. Then enjoy prison. He started closing the door. I grabbed the handle, told him I'd write whatever he wanted. He handed me the laptop right there in the hallway, made me type it while he watched. Every word felt like swallowing glass. When I finished, he read it over my shoulder and nodded. Print 50 copies. Mail them yourself. I want tracking numbers. I spent 2 days at FedEx watching my entire professional reputation disappear into envelopes. On day 3, he texted me an address. I drove to a storage unit on the edge of town. He was waiting outside, holding a small cardboard box. Inside were 3 hard drives and Richard's original confession letter. I'm not giving these to you. I'm giving them to your lawyer directly, so you can't bury them if they make you look bad. He called my lawyer right there and arranged a meeting. That night, my lawyer called me. The logs are perfect. They exonerate both of you. Richard set up a system to frame whoever was convenient. You're going to walk. The charges were dropped 6 days later, but the letters I'd sent, those were already out there. Clients forwarding them to each other. My name attached to a confession that I destroyed and pay. Innocent man out of ambition. My former partner sent me one last text. Now you know what it's like.